Previously on the MPP. In Cool Runnings, Jamaica
Never
attempts
seen
to
it.
qualify for the Olympics in what sport? Bobsledding.
Never seen it.
It's on
But yeah, it
Disney
makes
Plus.
sense.
Come on now.
I don't have Disney Plus.
Complete the quote. If you build it,
It, he will come. I thought it was they will come, but
yeah, I
okay.
thought it was. In real life boxing, which real life boxer is Raging Bull based on?
I mean, it sounds like a Mike Tyson thing, right?
Yeah, but that seems like
Muhammad Ali's like Sting, like uh,
Ray
it's gonna
Jones
be
Jr.
like Jake LaMotta. Yeah, I was gonna say it's gonna be that guy, like the guy I never heard of.
Ah, damn. Okay, well, we have enough time to play streaks. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the MPP, the Noam Patrick Podcast. This is episode number 89. 89. 11 more to 100.
200.
89 or 200?
200 total.
200 total. Yep.
Great.
Amari Cooper. I think he's 89.
I think he's number two. He used to be 89.
Did he used to be 89?
I think when before you could change your number, to
That's
wide
right.
receivers could have single digits.
Yeah. Uh, National when you probably watch this, maybe a Thursday, May 30th. It is National Creativity Day, Loomis Day, Mint Julep Day, and National Hole in My Bucket Day. So,
Why is that a day?
I don't know.
Hmm. Who comes up with these days?
This wacky holiday is in honor of the fun children's song There's a Hole in My Bucket. The song
Hmm.
has origins in 1700 Germany. Henry needs to fix his leaky bucket. In each stanza, Henry asks Liza for advice. In the end, he needs a bucket to carry water to repair his bucket. Okay. I don't know. We're just gonna move on from that. That's really bad. I don't know. If you're celebrating that holiday, let us know down in the comments
Yeah,
and
what do you do for that holiday?
post a picture of your bucket with a hole in it, please.
Yeah,
Anyways, on to headlines this week. Noah, what do we got?
yeah. So I got all baseball topics this week. Starting off with some tragic news for all you Atlanta Braves fans. Uh, Ronald Acuna Jr. once again for the second time in his career has torn his ACL. He tore it. Uh, just making a hard stop going back from third to
Crazy.
second. Yeah, it was a tough look, tough to watch because you could just tell, the little knee buckle, and you grab it. You're like, oh, well, that's not good.
Hmm.
But yeah, the second one in his career, he was having a pretty rough start to the season. So hopefully, when he comes back, he picks up and has another good season, like when he came back from it the first time. Well, actually, the year he came back from the first time was not good, but then the year after, he won the MVP. So
Yeah.
hopefully he skips that bad season and goes straight to the MVP season for next year when he comes back, which I'm assuming it'll just be the year he's gone. Um, Next, we got good old Jose Ramirez. He uh he was pitched around, I believe it was against the Angels maybe 3 days ago, with the bases loaded, and he ended up getting walked. And when he talked about it after the game, he said, "I'm just better than Barry Bonds." He's just like, "I'm that guy," and it's hard to argue with him with the month he's been having. In the month of May, he has 11 home runs, 32 RBIs,
Mm.
um, 20 or seven doubles and 30 hits on the year. He just got another double today, so eight and then 30 hits. He's 13 walks. I mean, he's having a crazy month. I believe he's probably like second now in home runs in the majors.
Hmm.
He's at 16, I believe. 17 right now is a high with Gunnar Henderson, at least tied for first. Um, But hey, he's having a Barry Bonds month. I'll tell you that.
It's crazy that people are comparing everyone to all these all-time greats, even though Barry Bonds, it's questionable. But Anthony Edwards getting compared to Michael Jordan. Uh, Now, Ramirez getting compared, or well, not getting compared. He's comparing himself to Barry Bonds.
Yeah,
So I don't know if that counts or not. But yeah, I mean, everyone wants to, give all the comps and they want everything to be compared to one another.
yeah. Well, I mean that's kind of
Scotty
just
Scheffler, Tiger
sports, you
Woods.
know. That's just sports. Everyone compares to the greatest. So that's why you
Mhm.
see people comparing to LeBron James, Kobe, Jordan, Barry Bonds, Ken Griffey Jr., Wayne Gretzky, non-comparable at all from anyone in hockey, but he's the greatest there in that sport.
Yeah.
Um, Tiger Woods, like you said, and Arnold Palmer. People get compared to all these guys, and I guess that's the only way sports really work. Even though every player is great in their own way, they all have their own greatness. But um, shout out to J Ram having an insane month, probably player of the month. Shout out to all you MLB the Show gamers out there. Probably going to be the next card coming out.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, and then last but not least, some exciting and great news. The MLB is now combining stats with the NGL, which for those of you who don't know, that's the league where when the MLB was segregated between white and black players. Um, it was the NGL from the 1920 to I believe 1948. So you had players like Jackie Robinson come out of there, Willie Mays, Satchel Paige, even though he was like 46, I believe, when he came out. Crazy. Uh, but yeah, so they are now combining the stats from those years with players who played in the MLB and those who haven't or didn't get to play in the MLB, but were blocked off by that color barrier that Jackie Robinson broke for the MLB. So here's some players who are going to get numbers added to their current stats right now. So Willie Mays is going to get an extra 10 hits, but that does put him in the top 13 for hits all time. And then you're going to have Satchel Paige, like I mentioned. They're just giving a couple extra strikeouts or wins. Oh, wins. They're giving him 28 more wins. Minnie Minoso, an extra 150 hits. Jackie Robinson, some more 50 hits. Also increasing his career um, batting average, on base percentage, and slugging percentage. A few other players um, that aren't very notable, but get a nice little add on to those.
Yeah.
But the huge name that got added, he never got to play in the MLB, but Josh Gibson has taken over three historic stats. He's now number one in those um, all time. So Josh Gibson is now number one in OPS, which is on base plus slugging percentage. He overtook Babe Ruth. He's now the leader in that. He's also leader in average with 372, which I was seeing a lot of people mad about this for Ty Cobb. Is now second. He led with 367. But man, hey, I've heard a lot of things that NGL was they had a lot more talent in that league than the MLB at that time. So
Yeah.
but Oscar Charleston also top five in those two categories. So he's another name that people probably don't know. I've never heard of him before, but he's taken top five in a couple of these spots too. So shout out to Oscar Charleston. Um, on base percentage, Ted Williams still leads that, but Josh Gibson jumps into the top three, and then Buck Leonard is number five, and then Oscar Charleston again number six. So three of those guys jumping into the top 10 on that. And then Josh Gibson now leads in slugging percentage, 718, overtakes Babe Ruth. So this guy, if you can't tell,
He was Babe Ruth.
potentially the greatest baseball player of all time.
Yeah.
I believe he's a catcher, so
Yeah.
he could do it all. He could do it all. I believe he played all pretty much every position. but mainly
Yeah.
catcher.
That's what I heard that one guy was just taking it all over and it was Gibson. Yeah, pretty cool. It's just crazy that there was like I think there was a committee for this, but they went through all these games and like tried to look up all these footage and not they didn't do every game because I guess some games didn't have a box score. So I guess these are all games that they were able to keep track of. So
Yeah,
I mean, can you imagine digging up all these archives of all these different games, counting outs, counting what like a hit,
yeah. I mean, that's 30
which is
years worth
yeah,
of games that they're trying to comb through to figure out the stats. But it's a good thing they added it. I think it's cool to see, that side of history that
yeah,
um bring them into the MLB because unfortunately they weren't able to play in the MLB because who knows if they'd have these same numbers, if not better numbers, if they got to play their whole career in the
yeah.
MLB.
I just heard about the stats. They were trying to think of what other sports or other leagues that should combine stats, and like the major one was ABA and NBA that they should combine. The other one's not really. NFL probably not, and what's the other one I'm missing? I guess not. I guess that's the only one. NFL or MLB. Hockey maybe. I don't know.
NBA. Yeah, I don't know. I think the more notable one that I've actually heard of is probably NBA and the ABA,
Mm,
But I've never heard of like much about the NFL and their
merger.
counterpart. Yeah, the
Yeah.
merger there. Um, I knew a lot more about MLB, but I'm also a huge baseball fan, so I've known
Yeah.
about it, stuff like that. But um, yeah, I think it's awesome for the sport. You get to recognize these players.
Yeah. Fun.
And if you're mad about it, then grow up.
Kick rocks.
Grow up. Like what is there to even be mad about?
Are there
Like
people mad about it?
there are people who are angry. They're saying like one of the big arguments was, well, why don't we put Pete Rose in the Hall of Fame since it
Oh,
was 50 years
jeez.
ago, So like just like come on. It's not the same thing at all.
Oh,
Grow
man.
up. Like honestly, before this, were you even thinking about Ty Cobb leading in average? No, no one was thinking about that. Like, come on.
It's like it's like everyone was like, how many times a day do you think about the Roman Empire or something? How many times a day do you think about Ty Cobb?
Yeah, I bet Ty Cobb is rarely thought of, unless you're just this huge baseball fan that wakes up every morning like, man, another great day. Ty Cobb leads the league in historic batting average in
Yeah,
history. Yes.
they like bow to a shrine on the wall or something.
Yeah, no, that's insane. But yeah, good day in sports. I believe that was yesterday or 2 days ago.
Yeah. Next for my headlines, got some golf, got some NBA, and got some MLB as well. Surprising news coming out of the LPGA. One of the, stars of the LPGA, Lexi Thompson, she started golfing, or she joined the LPGA, or is the youngest to qualify for the U.S. Women's Open at age 12. She is retiring at the end of this year. She's only 29 years old, which is wild. She could definitely play for another 20 years if she wanted to, or if on the LPGA, maybe 10 more years, maybe. But just a big shock to everyone in the golf world that Lexi Thompson is going to give it up at the end of the year. And
Yes,
other golf,
17-year career.
yeah,
So
but
that's a long.
it
I mean,
is
just
a
like
it is a long career, but like golf years, like
yeah, like golfers play till they're 90 years old,
yeah,
till they can't swing anymore. But
yeah,
I like you to think about it, think of all the child actors out there who retire at 29 because they've been acting since they were 12, Yeah, it's
true,
got to wear
true.
down on you.
Yeah. I don't I didn't really read too much into it. I'm sure there's more stuff that's come out making her decision. Um in other news, Scotty Scheffler. We talked about him getting arrested Friday morning of the PGA Championship. it is now official that all charges have been dropped. And I guess there's just, still a big miscommunication, even though, videos have come out of uh, this video of the car driving away, showing that Scotty Scheffler didn't really drag the cop and he didn't really scrape his knee or whatever, and he has all these injuries. And then a video came out today of Scheffler talking to the officers when he was in the back of the police car. So you could definitely find those videos. Just very interesting stuff. And
So are we saying the cops lied? Are we saying the
uh,
cops lied?
a little bit.
What a surprise.
Yeah,
Another day, another
yeah.
controversial
But
cop.
again, everyone kept it professional, even though like the cop like put out this professional statement, but then like 10 minutes later was calling Scheffler like an ass. So take it how you want it, but you know, I think everyone there's no way that Scheffler was gonna serve time or even, have
No.
these charges. There's no way. There's no shot. So there was a challenge though, the Louisville PD which was trying to stick up for their cop, but in the
Of
end,
course, of course.
yeah. Next, people are saying that Luca and Kyrie they're taking over the NBA playoffs. They did lose. Well, I think it was like last night.
Yep.
The series is still 3-1, but people were saying that Luca and Kyrie they're the best 1-2 punch that people have seen in the NBA in the entire career. Like the best duo.
Mm.
Even better than Steph Curry and Klay Thompson. People say they're the best duo, but Luca and Kyrie, Luca can get his shot one on one, and so can Kyrie. Um, do you have any duos in mind?
I can say Kyrie has had a better duo in his career, and I say Kyrie and LeBron James. Probably a pretty great duo there. Brought a championship to Cleveland.
Well, okay,
Um,
so then people are making the thing about Kyrie and LeBron, okay, right? So people are saying that Luca and Kyrie are best, two guards.
so you're looking at just guards.
Just guards, yeah.
So like KD and Westbrook wouldn't count.
No. Stephen A took said it on first take that Steph Curry and Clay is the best backcourt of all time. Number two is Magic Johnson and Byron Scott. Number three is Isaiah Thomas and Joe Dumars. Four is Luca and Kyrie. And five is Bob Cousy and Sam Jones.
Man, you have to go back there for any backcourts, huh? I guess with those options, it's not hard to say they're one of the best of all time. Um, but honestly, like, what have they really done?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, they've won two series, and they were about to sweep another. But I think people just love to jump ahead of things. They can still lose this series, and they can lose the next series. Like,
Mhm.
how would that? And then what? Everyone's gonna be like, well, I guess they're not that great. Like, what about I
Yeah.
don't know. So then would that make uh Derek White and Jalen Brown the best backcourt duo
Ooh.
because they're dropping 50 in that series next series? Like, I don't
Yeah.
know. Like this past series, I think the two of them dropped 50 almost every game combined. So
Do you do you think it's Jalen Brown's team or Jason Tatum's team?
I you know I am not a Jason Tatum fan.
Oh yeah,
I don't think he's that great.
yeah. Well,
I don't think it's a
people got their eyes wide awake now that Jalen Brown is way better.
yeah, I mean Jalen Brown has always had a chance to be better, but he could never dribble with his left hand. And maybe if he finally figures it out, he'd actually be better. But um
Pretty crazy that he won Eastern Conference Final MVP too.
I do think Jason Tatum is the best guy on that team, but I just don't think he's as great as everyone thinks he is.
Hmm.
Like how are you one of the greatest of all time in an Eastern Conference Finals game dropping 12 points and your duo is dropping 30, 40 points?
Yeah. I don't know.
It's different if like the whole game, like the whole team is struggling, like
Hmm.
whatever. But I just don't see it. I do not see it.
Yeah. It's pretty crazy watching the last 3 minutes of that game. It was just Indiana not scoring, and then Jalen Brown kind of mishandles the dribble, then gets it, and then just passes Derek White. It's just damn. That's a that's a heartbreaker right there.
There were some tough breaks for the Pacers. They had 3 games they easily could have won, and they just let it go. But that's probably the inexperience of the
Yeah.
playoffs and losing Halliburton. So one of the best
Yeah. I mean,
leaders.
2 times in a row that they should have just held on to the ball, but then they try to drive the lane and just got stolen. So
Yeah, yeah, tough for the Pacers, but I think whoever wins that Western Conference is going to win the whole thing.
I think so
So
too.
yeah, I just don't think Boston is looking very dominant.
Yeah.
Um,
Um,
but yeah, I would say Clay and Curry over Luca and Kyrie based on longevity in championships.
yeah, guard
Like
play.
these guys have been together 2 years, and this is the first time they've made it past the first round, so or second round together.
Yeah. And finally, the time has come. Angel
Finally,
Hernandez retires from the MLB. He's no longer an umpire, and also Paul Emmel. I don't really know the name, but I saw that he retired as well. Probably two of the longest umpires in the MLB retired this week. People said the MLB paid Hernandez to retire, um, just because of missed calls, or maybe that he really is like moving the needle on MLB bets because of his missed calls. So
when you see him playing or umping a game, you're gonna probably pick the under on runs or something. I don't know what you would do with him there, but he does
well
miss a lot
like
of calls.
well
So
like how we do it, like right, pitcher strikeouts, like
yeah,
if
yeah.
that's a prop bet and he's not calling them, or
Or he is calling him.
or he is
Like
calling him, I
yeah,
guess so,
it just
because
he's so like volatile in his call. Is like you don't know what call he's gonna make
yeah,
on each night. You don't know if he's gonna be calling strikes ball, if he's gonna be calling ball strike. Like you just don't know. It's just a mixed bag with this guy, or it
yeah,
was. But yeah, from what you said about him getting paid out, I did see that. Um, I guess the umpire association for MLB is pretty tough. Like you can't just fire umpires. Like their union is pretty tight about that stuff. So I'm guessing they did offer him a pretty good amount and say, "Look, I think it's time. Here's the offer. Take it if you want." But you know,
yeah.
and I
You
think
just
I
need
think
you
maybe
just need to go.
the offer was so good. He's like, you know what? Maybe it is time. Maybe he was tired of hearing the boos and seeing the stuff online if he's online, But
Yeah,
um, hey,
I
shout out
would
to
I
Angel
would feel the
Hernandez.
hate, like
No, I
I know
bet every
he's just
time
trying to do
he
his job, but
umps,
like still,
man, every time he umps, it's just something goes wrong in the game. So
yeah,
it was time. I mean, he was ump for a long time, so um,
30
it's hard.
plus
It's hard.
years.
It's hard to
Jesus
do that,
Christ.
So shout out to him.
Yeah, but those are our headlines from this week. Let us know what we missed or what we didn't miss. Give us your opinions if you want. I guess we'll move on to beat our streaks. Fortunately, there's no movie streaks this week. And I
Forgot
know I
about
was
that.
very sad about this one.
Forgot about
About
that.
that. Yeah.
All right, 10 out of 10 this time for sure. I feel it. You're currently better than 0 players. All right.
Oh, this is like
Did you already play it?
no. I just clicked start. Okay,
Oh,
okay.
here,
Here we go. Here we go.
just had to reload.
Which defending NBA champ recently lost a game 7 versus the Timberwolves? Jeez.
Man,
Lakers.
Warriors.
Which Hall of Famer was drafted by the Sixers 2 picks after Michael Jordan in 1984?
That has to be Barkley, right?
Or is it Barkley?
It's not Stockton.
It's not Cheeks.
No.
Okay.
Well, we got some old names out there. It's a little rough.
Which which Pistons player won 4 Defensive Player of the Year awards in the 2000s?
Has to be Ben
Yeah,
Wallace.
Ben Wallace.
Yeah.
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 Go go.
Shout out to Ben Wallace, like the 6'5" center.
Before he was a Celtic, was a Spur.
Yeah, Spur. Okay, okay.
Don't jinx it. In 2012, this running back was 9 yards shy of breaking the NFL single season rushing yard.
Adrian Peterson
Adrian Peterson.
or Chris Johnson. It's
Jesus.
those two. Who holds it?
I'm good.
Okay.
Yo,
Yeah. Yeah, that was my first guess.
which of these NBA teams hasn't won an NBA title? Thunder?
Sonics haven't won. Did Suns win one before? Yeah.
Which one?
The
Thunder?
Wizards? Yeah, yeah. It's just
Wizards?
go with the Sonics Thunder. Go with the Sonics. Hey, it was Suns. I knew it. I knew it. When did the Sonics win? The Kemp?
Does Sean Kemp get one with the Sonics? Because Thunder
Uh,
Thunder haven't won one.
no, yeah, Thunder haven't. They made it. We're better than 89%. That's right. Get on our level. You're 11% worse than us.
Adrian Peterson almost got us.
Yeah, that was close.
Champion.
It has to be with like it couldn't have been 1970. Come on. Like that's 20 years before we were born.
See who's on the team.
Like the ones I was thinking back to, Jack Sigma. That's the only guy I know on that.
Dennis Johnson, right? Don't we
No,
know?
Dennis Johnson. Yeah, I know his name also. But
Wow. Jackie Robinson switch to basketball.
nice. Yeah, popular name at that point. You know, Jackie Robinson was 1940. So
Damn. That's
that's a rough one. That's a rough one to lose on. I think that's what their only chip too.
yeah, they're only one.
Well, like I don't know any teams, the Sonics before Kemp and Gary Payton.
Yeah, Gary Payton wasn't even on that team.
Like
Dennis
all,
Johnson won MVP.
the only one I can think of is Gary Payton. He was in the 90s. So, but I knew I was like Gary Payton didn't win because I remember he joined the Lakers to try to win.
Wow. 90 to 03, huh?
They got some old trivia questions on here because look, we're not in our early 20s, okay? But like we're in our 20s
Yes.
and we're how are we supposed to remember that stuff? Like
Man,
like
those
like when am I gonna look up? Oh yeah, the Supersonics. Yeah,
even 2012, okay?
yeah. Like
That's 12 years ago. I was 14.
exactly. We were young when this stuff happened. Barely remember any of that. Like I remember Adrian Peterson was like I remember knowing Adrian Peterson was amazing, but I don't remember watching him
I don't,
that
yeah, I wouldn't
much.
remember the stats on him that he was, so close in breaking the record. Like, I know Chris Johnson was pretty good back then, and I thought he was maybe on that level, but
He might have been before 2012.
yeah,
Actually, I don't even know.
I
I
guess
don't even know.
so. That's another thing. Hold on, I'll look it up. We have time. Chris Johnson
So much for a short episode.
playing. It's still short.
Shorter than usual, yeah.
Uh, Chris Johnson retired at 2018.
Okay, so I remember he was really good. Maybe we were in high school at that point.
Best rushing year. Chris Johnson, best rush. 2009.
Okay, that's when I was
Johnson
thinking.
rushed
Like,
for his most yards in a season with 2006 yards.
I remember. I don't know if it was he a rookie? No, it had to be like his second or third year, maybe. But he was a beast. He was a beast.
Yeah.
I do remember the year Adrian Peterson was rushing for like 200 yards a game almost. It was kind of crazy.
Chris Johnson got drafted in '08. So sophomore year, he took off.
Yeah, shout out
Yeah.
to the Titans, huh?
Yeah. They also had Steve McNair. They had Steve Young, not Steve Young, Vince Young.
Man, tough Vince Young, man. That guy was great in college.
Yeah.
The Rose Bowl.
Shout out to him.
And Reggie Bush. I wanted to be like Reggie Bush. But before I wanted to
I
be
had a Reggie
like
Bush
Devin
jersey.
Hester, I wanted to be like Reggie Bush. What there were nights I'd go to bed and be like, please make me as fast as Devin Hester. Like that dude's a beast.
25, right? In college? Some Bush 25? Or is he 5?
He was 5 and then he's 25 in the league.
Oh, okay.
Before
That's,
all before the number stuff.
yeah.
Yeah.
But that is it for this episode, number 89. 89. Hopefully everyone enjoyed. And I guess we'll see everyone next week for episode 90.
No.
That's a hard number to think of.
Well, I'm not gonna do it, so
Okay, I'll think about it.
all right.
See ya.
Yeah.